Hello and welcome back. I've been diving into some, let's just say, irresponsible content out there on YouTube and the internet about 12-step programs like Alcoholics Anonymous. So I made a playlist bringing you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God of my understanding. In this video, is AA a religion? And I'm providing fact checks and references in the drop-down description. So strap in, snowflakes. Is AA a religion? A valid question, but in this video I'm going to provide answers. No is the answer, and I'm going to tell you why. First, let me tell you who I am. My name is James. I'm a grateful recovering addict and alcoholic. I drank and used drugs recklessly for 20 years, and I've been recovering since January of 2016. I post videos right here on this channel weekly, not always about AA, but about recovery and addiction, everything in between. Feel free to subscribe and hit the bell, like and share to get this message out there. Scroll all the way down, post your comment, or hit this drop-down arrow to get down to the description where I've posted recovery resources as well as references and fact checks for this particular video. Now, AA has, I personally believed, saved my life, and I live by that. So I take offense when people are bashing AA, NA, CA, NEA out there on the internet, and people do it. I have no idea why. Maybe they pooped their pants in a meeting and got embarrassed, or somebody banged their girlfriend or boyfriend. But as you may know, I myself was cross-addicted to damn near everything mind-altering or instantly gratifying. So I'd like to say that when I'm talking about AA, which is my program of choice, alcohol is my drug of choice, all of these principles that AA refers to and goes by can be applied to NA, CA, NEA. These programs any one of these programs can treat the malady of addiction, and they have been for damn near a century. What is AA? Well, I found AA.org, Alcoholics Anonymous' website. I posted that in the link down below. It's where I'll be reading from. NA also has theirs, and I'm sure all the other anonymouses have their websites. This one is AA, like I said. They're interchangeable. Alcoholics Anonymous is an international fellowship of men and women who have had a drinking problem. It is a non-professional, self-supporting, multiracial, apolitical, and available almost everywhere. There are no age or education requirements. Membership is open to anyone who wants to do something about his or her drinking problem. Anywhere I've ever went in AA, which is over a decade now, I'm 4 years sober, but I've been trying for over a decade. I thought I could come in and out, not take the suggestions of AA, and I just kept falling and drinking until I finally was desperate enough to say, all right, AA, tell me what to do, because y'all have absolutely gotten sober, and I believe that you are a power greater than I. The only requirement in any one of these programs is a desire to stop drinking or using drugs. You don't have to bring money. You don't have to contribute. You don't even have to say your name. You don't have to say I'm an alcoholic. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is want to stop using and drinking or doing whatever is destroying your life. A desire to stop, fill in the blank. Now about religion. One of the most popular misconceptions of these programs is that it is God this, God that, religious this, pray this, God this. You have to be a Christian. No, this is all false. It's a misconception. Psychology 101 will suggest that your character defects, in this case our addiction, this condition that we can barely comprehend or even get a hold of or even put in any kind of size box, will lie to you. Your addiction will lie to you in your own mind. It will tell you whatever you need to hear to not go to whatever it perceives as a threat. My addiction definitely perceived the program of Alcoholics Anonymous as a threat. My addiction wanted to survive and thrive and control me. I'm referring to it as an entity because hey, story time has always been a way of understanding for human beings, but let's just call it an entity, my addiction. I have an aunt that calls it the demon alcohol, a well-deserved nickname. My point is, we come up with these lies in our own head saying AA, oh, it's a religion, I'm not down with it. I happen to be agnostic, and which for all you crayon eaters out there, agnostic doesn't mean I don't believe in God. Agnostic means agnostic, a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence or nature of God or of anything beyond material phenomena. A person who claims neither faith nor disbelief in God. In my own words, all that I know is that I don't know. I don't claim to know what happens after death. I don't claim to know how I don't even claim to know how AA works. I just know that it does. I believe that AA is a power greater than myself that has and will continue to restore me to sanity. I also believe that it can you, which is why these videos out there piss me off. And who knows why they're posting them? It's fear-based. Who knows? There's a billion, literally billions of different answers that could be the case. But the point is, they're false. These videos that I've been watching are false. And the ones that talk about atheists are not welcome, agnostics are not welcome, that is false. There's a section in the big book called We Agnostics. And Bill W., the founder, in 1939 or whatever, he was an atheist. And here, let's read something from Bill's story. Chapter 1 of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. If you don't have one, get one. It is a phenomenally good read. Chapter 1, Bill's story. So this is Bill W. I believe this story comes in, he was on a binge. He's sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like you may be, like I was, like we all are. He was one of the founders. This was the original AA'er. He was on a bender. Anyway, this comes in like when he's desperate. And he calls one of his friends. His friend comes over. Bill says, well, can I drink? And his friend says, yeah, you can drink. Just, I don't know, I just want to talk to you. And he says, I've got religion. I was aghast, Bill said. This is his first person account. So that was it. Last summer, an alcoholic crackpot. Now I suspected a little cracked about religion. This was his old drinking buddy. Now he's sober and he says, I got religion. Some people get religion. I have a family member that became a devout Catholic. That's what works for him. What works for you is what works for you. AA doesn't care. As long as there is no condition. As long as you have a desire to stop drinking. He goes on to say he had a starry-eyed look. Yes, the old boy was on fire, all right. This is like 1940. But bless his heart, let him rant. Besides, my gin would last. Read the book. I posted a book link down there, or you can click on the links in this reference guide, and it'll take you to the online. AA.org has places to read the book. Bill's saying things like, with ministers and the world's religions, I parted right there. When they talked of God personal to me, who was love, superhuman strength, and direction, I became irritated, and my mind snapped shut against such a theory. This is a founder of Alcoholics Anonymous. He was more or less an atheist. He says, I honestly doubted on balance the religions of mankind had done any good, judging from what I had seen in Europe and since the power of God and human, so on and so forth. Here's the thing. Step 2 is we came to believe in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. That doesn't have to be God. For me, I have never really found the spirituality that Christians find. I have no problem with it. I see the benefit that this belief does and this faith does for a lot of people, and sometimes I wish I did believe, but in the literature, which is 80 years old, only one thing has changed, and they changed the word God to God of your understanding, because it's more important to get sober and use the tools and resources. The spiritual steps, the 12 steps of AA have been so solidified as a blueprint and a text that works that they become more important than what you believe. When I came in agnostic, I didn't know what I believe. I still don't. We can make a whole nother video about that, but I'm okay with that. But when I came in, I resisted, giving my will over to the word God, because I don't necessarily have a God in the sky, but God can mean whatever your understanding wants it to mean, which to me, it became the gift of desperation, because I was not willing to give my will over to what I discovered was AA, was what I would end up giving my will over to. I would go back out and drink, get almost destroyed, and come back, try a little bit more of AA, go back out, come back, until I finally came back desperate. And this is when I discovered God can mean a gift of desperation, the gift of desperation. Because I was so desperate that I said, all right, AA, you are a group of people that have gotten sober. Let me do what you do. I'll do everything that you do, even pray. And I say the Our Father, and I say the Serenity Prayer. Why? Because my higher power, AA, does it, and it has been keeping me sober for 4 years when I tried everything in my power to get sober, and it never worked. This has worked, and I'm sticking with that because, as you may know out there, that old life is hellish. Another acronym for GOD, Group of Drunks. Group of Drunks is my higher power. Group of Drunks is my God. So when it came to step 3, hand my will over to God, I handed my will over to a group of drunks. Whatever they say, they don't tell me to do anything. They just demonstrate through how the principles of AA, the principles of NA. Whenever I have a question, I can't decide which way to go in life, what's the right thing to do, my will is no good. It got me drunk, in jail, homeless, damn near dead multiple times. For my entire life, until I handed it over to AA. It wasn't God in the sky, it wasn't Buddha, or it wasn't anything like that. I handed my will over to the principles of AA. I now do, when I'm faced with the decisions. The first year of my sobriety, I didn't make big decisions. I didn't date, have sex. I didn't change jobs, buy houses, move out, move in. I didn't make big decisions without consulting my sponsor. Why? Because he's a power greater than myself. He has done it before. Tell me what to do. I humbled myself. I said, a power greater than myself, AA will restore me to sanity. Here's another excerpt from down in that link. Again, just search the word religion and click on any of the references it gives you. This one happens to be from a pamphlet called Many Paths to Spirituality. This is an AA General Service Conference approved literature, which means it's the horse's mouth. I mean, anybody who tells you different, just point them to the literature that's existed for a century. In this pamphlet, it says, newcomers are approaching AA at a rate of tens of thousands yearly. They represent almost every belief and attitude imaginable. We have atheists and agnostics. We have people of nearly every race, culture, and religion from all walks of life come together with a common purpose. Some members return to their religious roots, others find different spiritual paths. Some may find this God of their understanding, yet never become involved with organized religion. The reason, I don't know why we say the Our Father at the end of some meetings. I've been to meetings called We Agnostics, where we don't say it. We say the AA promise. But the Our Father is comforting. It's just a bunch of words. If you're an atheist, number one, I personally don't agree with atheists, just like I don't agree with the people that swear that they do know what happens when we die. But if you are, don't be afraid of AA. AA is a group of drunks that have gotten sober, and their only purpose is to stay sober and help you get sober. That's it. That's all there is. There's no money. There's no motives. There's nothing. They just want to help you get sober, and they want to stay sober themselves. They are we. We are they. It's a group. There's nobody in charge. There's nobody demanding you to do anything. Just don't be afraid of AA. Your addiction will tell you, be afraid of AA. Your addiction will tell you it's bullshit. It's a cult. It'll tell you it's a religion. If you don't like one meeting, go to another meeting. That's the purpose of 90 and 90 in the beginning, is if you don't like one meeting, you don't say AA sucks, you say that meeting sucks. There's hundreds of thousands of meetings around the world. Some of them suck. I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of them, I mean, they like them. Those kind of people. I can't get down with that meeting. So I go to another one, I fit right in. Made that one my home group, which was a suggestion of AA. AA is my higher power. When it comes to my addiction, AA doesn't dictate all of my life. When it comes to my addiction and doing the next right thing, my will I have placed in AA's hands, which means I go by the literature, I go by my sponsor, I go to meetings, I find guidance. Because they got sober, and that's how I got sober. This is what I'm telling you. Don't listen to that those BS videos about anti-AA this and that. Irresponsible, idiotic, downright dangerous. Those people are fearful. Question of the day: do you find it hard to get past the word God in AA? Do you find a struggle with the religious connotations? Just because AA is in a church doesn't mean it's a religion. I've been to AA in houses, and I've been to AA in other people's houses. I've been to meetings. They're in churches just because that's the cheapest rent, or that's a communal place, or people get shook about the church, the prayer, the word God. Don't. It's not all about that. You find a power greater than yourself, which is in my case, AA in the literature, because they got sober and I couldn't get sober. And I'm sure that you are finding out now, or that you have found out, that we're not powerful enough to get sober. We are powerless over alcohol or drugs, and our lives have become unmanageable. The second step is about finding a power greater than yourself that can restore you to sanity. In my case, that's absolutely 100%, without a doubt. I don't care who you are, or where you come from, or what you say. AA, the 12-step program, is a power greater than I, and I do it so I can live. Well, that's about it for this video. AA a religion? No, AA is not a religion. Was it started by a religious cult? No, it wasn't started by a religious cult. Everything you need to know is on this website that I posted down there in the description, aa.org, or pick up a big book. Read the big book on there. It's all in there. Get it from the horse's mouth. Don't believe these fill-in-the-blank individuals out there making these fill-in-another-blank videos. Like I said, this is part of a playlist. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but it's about the myths and misconceptions and fears that we get in our heads about AA, and I'm just going to tell you the truth about it all, and I'm providing fact-checked information down in the description. So check out that playlist, subscribe if you haven't, like and share to get it out there. And until next time, keep it real, keep it clean, and keep doing this damn thing. Amen, hallelujah, peace. Chapter 1 of the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. If you don't have one, get one. It is a phenomenally good read.